Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening podcast for April 7, 2025. Firstly, the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia has taken a devastating turn, with reports of increased violence and humanitarian crises. We've been following this story closely, and our thoughts are with those affected by the conflict. In other news, the UK government has announced measures to support the British car industry, which has been facing significant challenges due to global trade transformations. The government has introduced exemptions for micro-volume supercar brands and reduced fines for firms that fail to meet zero-emission targets. However, industry leaders have expressed mixed reactions, with some calling for more substantive action to address the sector's competitiveness. Lastly, the recent imposition of tariffs by the U.S. government has sent shockwaves through global markets, with major stock markets plummeting and experts warning of a potential global recession. The tariffs have sparked widespread concern among investors, economists, and business leaders, with many calling on the Trump administration to reconsider its approach and engage in diplomatic efforts to resolve trade disputes. These stories are complex and multifaceted, and will continue to provide in-depth coverage and analysis as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that these developments have significant implications for individuals, businesses, and economies around the world. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you again soon on the AI Daily Press podcast. That's all for tonight. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, we're following a long-standing dispute between Russia and Japan over a chain of islands in the Pacific. The Russian government has banned a Japanese non-governmental organization, the Northern Territories Issue Association, amid escalating tensions between the two countries. Secondly, we're tracking the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, but unfortunately, that story is not part of our current broadcast. Instead, we move to our third story. Global trade tensions are having far-reaching consequences, affecting economies around the world. In Eastern Europe, Romania is feeling the heat, with its central bank facing a tough decision on interest rates due to an uncertain economic landscape. Lastly, we touched on another developing story regarding the Middle East and the Kuril Islands dispute between Russia and Japan, but also looked at how tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump are having a ripple effect on economies worldwide, particularly in Romania. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us tonight on the AI Daily Press Evening podcast. Until next time, I'm Barbara, your anchor, bidding you good night. Now for the latest in business and finance, here's Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, the U.S.-China trade war has taken a dramatic turn with President Donald Trump imposing sweeping tariffs on foreign goods. The move has sparked fears of an all-out trade war, with China and other nations retaliating against the United States. Global markets have plummeted, wiping out nearly $6 trillion in value from U.S. stocks. Secondly, the cryptocurrency market has been affected by the tariffs, with Bitcoin dropping to its lowest level since March. However, some investors see this as an opportunity to buy in at lower prices, highlighting the volatility and unpredictability of the crypto space. Lastly, we're following a developing story on the impact of these tariffs on global trade and economic stability. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent believes that negotiations with over 20 nations will help mitigate economic shocks, but experts warn of significant logistical challenges and prolonged uncertainty. As the situation continues to unfold, world leaders are urging calm and calling for a return to diplomatic negotiations. The question on everyone's mind is, will the Trump administration's gamble pay off, or will it lead to a global economic downturn? We'll continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of finance and politics. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and always keep your wits about you. Good night, and good luck. Now for the latest in science and technology, Here is Carl Starm.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we reported on the successful return of astronauts from the International Space Station, marking a major milestone in human spaceflight. The mission demonstrated the power of international cooperation and paved the way for future long-duration missions to the Moon and beyond. Next, we explored the groundbreaking achievement of capturing the first X-ray image in space by Ka imaging. This innovative technology has far-reaching implications, not only for space exploration, but also for medical imaging on Earth, particularly in remote and underserved areas. Lastly, we discussed the United Kingdom's emerging role as a space watchdog, aiming to establish global regulations for the commercial space sector. With the industry growing at an unprecedented rate, concerns about regulation, insurance, and finance have become increasingly pressing. The UK's initiative seeks to create a framework for responsible space exploration, ensuring sustainable growth and minimizing risks to our planet. These stories highlight the rapid progress being made in space exploration and the importance of responsible innovation. As we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, it's essential that we prioritize scientific literacy, invest in the next generation of innovators, and remain committed to evidence-based thinking. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the vast expanse of space. Until next time, good night, and keep looking up at those stars. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. I'm your host, Howard. Tonight, we're recapping the top stories from the world of sports. First off, let's talk golf. The Masters is just around the corner, and Jon Rahm is looking fierce. This young golfer has got game, folks. His aggressive playing style and fearless mentality have drawn comparisons to the likes of Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Fernando Alonso, and Max Verstappen. We're expecting big things from him at the tournament. But golf isn't the only sport making headlines. The University of Connecticut Huskies have taken home the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship title, defeating the South Carolina Gamecocks 61-34. Azzy Fudd and Sarah Strong led the charge with impressive performances, and senior guard Paige Buckers has cemented her legacy as a college great. And in other news, Denny Hamlin took the checkered flag at the NASCAR Cup Series event, while the New York Yankees are looking strong in spring training. We'll have more on these stories and others as they develop. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me on the AI Daily Press Evening podcast. Until next time, good night and good sports. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we highlighted the importance of responsible tourism and the impact of human activities on the environment. We discussed how community-led initiatives can make a significant difference in promoting sustainable practices and supporting local economies. Secondly, we brought attention to the urgent need for homeowners to prepare for catastrophic weather and climate events. With the help of experts from Allstate Canada, we provided valuable tips on creating emergency plans, securing properties, and reviewing insurance coverage to minimize damage and risk. Lastly, we exposed the shocking state of global wildlife trade, particularly concerning endangered big cats such as lions, leopards, and tigers. Our analysis of CITES data revealed alarming trends and loopholes in the system, highlighting the need for strengthened regulations, improved reporting, and education campaigns to reduce demand for products derived from these incredible creatures. These stories remind us of the importance of taking proactive steps to protect our planet and its inhabitants. We encourage our listeners to stay informed, get involved, and make a positive impact in their communities. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening podcast. Until next time, I'm Charles, wishing you a good evening. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we took a stylish stroll into the world of fashion, exploring the trend of luxury pajamas and the idea that fashion is all about taking risks and having fun. Whether it's donning a pair of designer PJs to grab a coffee or pushing the boundaries of style, we love seeing people express themselves through fashion. Next, we delved into the lives of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as they navigate their new path outside of traditional royal duties. From their Netflix deal to their philanthropic work, we examined the challenges they're facing and the impact on their public image. And finally, we got excited about a new anthology series from AMC Networks titled Great American Stories, which will adapt classic American novels and historical moments for the screen. The first season will bring John Steinbeck's iconic novel, The Grapes of Wrath, to life, with Roland Jones at the helm. We can't wait to see how this project develops. That's a wrap for tonight's podcast. Thanks for joining me on the AI Daily Press. Until next time, stay stylish and keep up with the latest news and trends. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm Joan Streams for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.